Very excited to be here and share with you today a little bit about Inspire, but most importantly, in Arby's case and what we've been doing with the Internet of Things and Smart Kitchen, things that actually can put not just a little bit of extra money in your P&L, but bags of money, lots of money. The last several years, Arby's has saved over $40 million in energy savings, another $3 million, and that's just at the end of 2018. We haven't even looked at what 2019 was yet, right? This is to cook the same curly fries, to cook the same roast beef, no negative impact to the customer, but using the Internet of Things to understand our energy consumption. What about labor? Let's talk about labor. Try $43 million over a 5-year period on labor savings. About $7,200 a restaurant if you don't have 1,200 restaurants. Alex is working on a project this year that we're going to roll out that's going to give us another $5.5 million in labor savings, or another $4,500 per year. This isn't chump change. This is some serious money. Nearly $12,000 a year in labor savings on top of the energy savings using the Internet of Things. So, our solution, what did we come up with? So, we came up with a third-party platform, Internet of Things company, for us, Powerhouse Dynamics, using the SiteStage platform. Now, this isn't a pitch on Powerhouse Dynamics. They didn't pay me to say that. There are a lot of good other third-party companies out there that do similar work. I just think Powerhouse probably does it better than most. We built this thing from the ground up. It was very custom to Arby's. It was even a little new to Powerhouse, some of the things we're asking them to do. We're able to have a gateway that was secure, PC1 compliant, which is the highest rating for network security. Okay, one gateway that laid the infrastructure for our controls. Communicated, the thermostats communicated to the gateway and allow for our energy savings. And then, of course, the integration layer that allows us to connect all the different pieces of equipment. Again, we want a Charleston and a Bev Air. We want a Henny Penny and a Frymaster, right? So one solution. And then the single software platform that integrates controls and the data for the equipment, right? Talk about implementing all that. Wasn't easy. A high level of collaboration between us, Powerhouse Dynamics, and our OEM partners, our equipment manufacturers. We had to determine the most effective way to integrate existing equipment and new equipment, right? There were a handful, a very small amount of equipment manufacturers that had equipment that could talk Wi-Fi, but only to their gateway, to their device, right? And so if they had that kind of smart technology, is where Alex worked with them very closely at Powerhouse Dynamics, to get them to change their protocols, basically the language that communicated back and forth so it could talk to our gateway. But most manufacturers weren't able to do that. They didn't have the Wi-Fi capabilities, right? And so we created this wireless module we call an S-Pod. And what it does, this was custom made for Arby's, but it's available for others now. Industry sharing, we want the industry to be better. So we didn't say it had to be only Arby's. But this S-Pod, what we could do with these, we would ship these in bulk to the manufacturer, and we'd have the manufacturer, we'd have Charleston, we'd have Bev Air, we'd have Henny Penny, put these on the equipment at the plant, and through a serial cable, would pull the data out of the controller. So whatever data was in their controller, we would get that data through that S-Pod. As soon as we put that piece of equipment in the restaurant, it would automatically connect to the gateway. No installers, no in-field installation. In fact, that was one of the requirements. We didn't want any tech staff to come out and install sensors or S-Pods onto the equipment in the field, right? We're able to avoid that. So we have two ways of doing it. The S-Pod from the plant, but that's only good for new equipment. We've got a lot of restaurants, and we got a lot of existing equipment. We're not going to throw it all out. So Alex and the team were able to work with a device called a Y-Temp. And basically with a zip line, zip line, a zip tie. They could put it in a rack in a reach-in cooler, and it would take the temperature and the time of the walk-in box or whatever piece of equipment you put it in, and then it would send it over to the gateway. 2-year battery. The thing would, buzz us and notify us when the battery was getting weak, and you had like a month to change it. So completely, wireless.